Bank and Trust Arena. Big one tonight on tap for you as the University of South Dakota comes to town to take on South Dakota State in the Interstate Series. Hello everyone, Brett Bowen alongside Sydney Andrews. 18 is the number tonight. 18-0 is the South Dakota State record in the 2024 season. And for South Dakota, 18 straight wins against South Dakota State. Jack's looking to get off the schneid tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be an incredible game. It's always so fun to play our in-state rivals. It's just going to be another one that we're going to be talking about for the rest of the season.
And this Jackrabbit team, a couple of gutsy road wins in the past week, winning in a couple of places where it's not easy to win, North Dakota State and St. Thomas. Yeah,
and St. Thomas was definitely one of those ones where you go in kind of expecting, you know, St. Thomas has been at the bottom, but this year they have shown a completely different team, and they showed the Jackrabbits that a little bit. I think they kind of had to get the Jacks really settled in before they could kind of stop making so many errors and kind of clean up and play their game that game.
The Coyotes in red tonight come in with a record of 13-5 overall, 5-2 in the Summit League, sitting third place in the Summit League standings. This is a much different South Dakota team from a season ago, but still full of talent. The Jacks 18-0, still the last unbeaten team in Division I volleyball. They are 7-0 in the Summit League and on top of the standings. Great crowd on hand tonight at First Bank and Trust Arena. The last time South Dakota State defeated South Dakota in volleyball, October 13th, 2015. Dan Georgialis and the Jacks looking to change that tonight, and we're underway. Clean all the way around, and Sylvie Scutts gets the game started with a bang.
Yeah, and we were talking about, you know, this is the 18th win for the Jackrabbits this season, 18-0. But you got to look, South Dakota State, they're 18-0 against the Jackrabbits. So they're both really playing for something, for a lot here.
Riley Martin first to the service line for South Dakota State. She goes long, and the Yotes retaliate early. Karen Ferris wearing the libero jersey for Leanne Williamson once again. It's been the team's libero for the past 2 seasons, following the departure of Lolo Weideman from the 2022 squad. Scunts will try again. This time she's blocked. There's the freshman Morgan Bodie. That's the Madison Harms replacement right there.
When you're thinking about how are we going to defend the Jackrabbits, you really have to focus on your blocks, closing your blocks, being up and pressed on your blocks. And I think that is something that South Dakota State is really going to have to focus on this game.
The back-to-back Summit League Defensive Player of the Week, doing it on the offensive end there, Sydney Shetton, her first kill of the night. Shetton, the redshirt junior out of Sioux Falls, just continues to play outstanding volleyball on both sides of the net this season. Great all the way around for South Dakota. Kylan Seelock goes through the block attempt from Shetton and Groves, and the Coyotes retake the lead. Seelock, team leader in kills last season for Leanne Williamson, on track to do just that once again this season.
Yeah, Seelock has such a heavy arm. She is their go-to. We will be saying her name a lot tonight.
Cora Hawkinstead, the true freshman out of Sioux Falls, on the serve. Hawkinstead's seen an increased role as the season has gone on. Set middle, Bodie on the swing, sent back for the moment by Shetman. Seelock will try again off the top of the block. Van Egdom through the Coyote block, and a point for South Dakota State. We continue to go back and forth early.
I've said this so many times before. Van Egdom is so good at those high hands, finding that back deep corner. She saw she had a completely closed block, and she used it to her advantage.
Van Egdom necessarily hasn't seen the stats go her way yet this season, but has still found plenty of ways to contribute. Jack's unable to return the soft swing by Seelock, and she's got a couple early kills. Van Egdom, a breakout season last year. Season high this year in kills is only 8, but still finding ways to get involved in this Jackrabbit rotation as that number 2 outside. Elena Wolf, the senior DS in. Serves it away, a back set for Groves. That's going to be there tonight, and Groves has a kill on her first swing. Four points for South Dakota State, 4 kills. They've each come from 4 different players. Bodie on the slide. Van Egden will tip it this time. And trying to go down that right line for South Dakota was Xavier Van Hook, the sophomore center. Skunks alertly watches it go out of play. South Dakota State retakes the lead.
You got to notice these are both two very offensive teams. They have so many options in the front court. They're so versatile. Able to see that middle go behind the center there. We'll be seeing a lot of different players getting their time there.
Back-to-back attack errors for Morgan Bodie, and we'll have an early challenge. Back-to-back slide attempts to Bodie. And we'll get a look. The Coyotes are adamant that that was touched. And Leanne Williamson, the 11th year head coach of South Dakota, the program's all-time leader in wins, really didn't waste any time in challenging. Get a look at the swing from Bodie. See if it went off the right hand of Van Egden. Tough to tell from that angle. A look from behind now. That really didn't appear to change much of a direction. I think they're going to have a tough time overturning that, but we'll see. As it stands right now, the Jacks are 3-0 scoring run. And an early lead over South Dakota in this opening set. These two teams, despite the 18 wins in a row for South Dakota, three out of the last 4 matches have gone 5 sets. These games have been competitive the last couple of years. The Jacks have just been unable to close out. And
I think the community knows that too. You see in the crowd there, we have a packed arena tonight. Lots of South Dakota fans, lots of South Dakota State fans. We have swim team in the crowd, the basketball team in the crowd. We got a lot of people out here coming to support because they know it's going to be a great game.
Call stands, point South Dakota State, and it's Katie Van Egden's second kill as a result. Last season, these teams, of course, met twice, and the Coyotes 2 reverse sweeps of the Jackrabbits. These teams met in the regular season finale here in Brookings. Each set, 1 through 4, finished 25-23 as Cameron Hahn goes long. And South Dakota, a 15-4 win in set number 5. But the Jacks have already doubled up their win total from last season. Went 9-20 in 2023 and 18-0 this season. On a great bump set for Van Egden. We tried to go down the line. An overpass. Lauren Mack, the freshman, shanks it into the side of the net. Point Jackrabbits. Medic, another good hitter for Leanne Williamson out of Papillion, Nebraska. Top-ranked recruit in the state of Nebraska, the 22nd ranked recruit in the country. Medic will try again, puts it in play this time. Skunks puts her hands up. Medic for the second time in this rally. Now a set middle. And the Jacks unable to return it. Bounced around a little bit, but Bentley Brown couldn't keep it alive. And we look at this battle at the middle this season compared to last. The Coyotes last year, you had Bryn Palman, you had Madison Harms. Both were tremendous players in this program. The Jacks were in scramble mode at middle with Sydney Shetman, the middle blocker, who was transitioning from right side. Really, it was a mismatch last year for SDSU as Skunks has another kill. It was a mismatch for the Jacks last year at middle. Now, Sydney, it's completely the other way around. The Jacks have the best middle blocker duo in the league, while the Coyotes are really young at that position.
Yeah, and I think the middles being so, on the media and in beating these records and getting these blocks, and every week they're just showing what they got. I think from South Dakota's standpoint, they're going to look at that and say, okay, we need to focus on defending these middles because they can do almost everything. And so I think that will open up a little bit of room for Sylvie and Katie out there on the outside.
Lauren Medic now will take the service line. Second on the team in kills for South Dakota. Hahn saves it. Shetman just tried to put it in play, but hit it wide to the right off the touch. And the Coyotes have evened things up in this opening set. Expect a good one tonight. Coyotes third in the league. Won 3 in a row, including a 5-set win over North Dakota State Saturday. These matchups have always seemed to deliver over the past few years. Expect more of the same tonight. Set middle, Shetland. Able to get a touch on it was Amanda Lotion, the sophomore middle blocker for South Dakota. One set, Sealock tried to take some off, but took a little too much off there. And it's a point for South Dakota State. Error number 4 already for South Dakota.
Yeah, it's going to be a game of confidence and cleanliness. Both teams, they have enough confidence. They know they're good, but who is going to stay more clean? You know, South Dakota State, I said against St. Thomas how it would, the first set there was a little, you know, a little filled with some errors here and there. And then you look at South Dakota, when they played against St. Thomas, it was full of errors as well. So it's going to be about who, you know, clean serves, clean serve receive. And as we've seen so far, they really need to clean up their offense here.
Stoppage of play here for a moment. And now substitutions will come in. Riley Martin, Melissa Groves, and for Ventlin Brown and Cameron Hahn for South Dakota State. Jacks ranked 32nd in the RPI, their highest mark ever. They're receiving 13 votes in the AVCA poll. Jacks have 2 matches this week against teams they've been dominated by in the past. And an ace for Riley Martin. First ace of the day for either team. And for Martin, it's her 26th ace serve of the season. She leads this Jackrabbit team in ace serves. As a result, at the top of the serving rotation. Almost another ace for Martin. Coyotes almost able to return. Sealock went long on the swing. And South Dakota State a 3-0 run, their second of that nature in this one.
This is such a tough ball to receive. It's coming at you so fast and so tight over the net. And it's moving. It is moving side to side. You have no idea where it's going to land.
Amanda Lotion, a heck of a swing from the middle blocker there. Was good last season for Leanne Williamson as a freshman, and missed some time at the start of this year, but is starting to find her groove once again. Jalen Ferris goes wide to the left on the serve. It's the first service error of the day for South Dakota. Really, errors have been the story of this first set for South Dakota, especially lately. The Jacks had 4 kills. Their first 4 points came from 4 kills, but since then, 6 Coyote errors. Sealock goes long again, but a touch is called from the back line judge. And Jody Weilaga. Our officiating crew tonight: Craig Weidel, the up ref, Bill Stanley, the down ref, John Becker, and Jody Weilaga are our line judges. Hawkinstead the serve. Groves trying to go across court, swung it into the net. And South Dakota back-to-back points. Hawkinson serving back at Van Egdom. Sealock again, sent back. Sydney Shetland, the back-to-back defensive player of the week, making her presence known.
What a beautiful block right there. Press over the net with no air to breathe for that ball.
Textbook by Sydney Shetland to end the mini spurt. Another slide to Bodie. They like to run that action. And this time Bodie gets a kill. A couple of errors on the slide, on her first couple of slide attempts today, but gets in the kill column there. Bodie averaging about 2 kills per set. Another highly ranked recruit for the South Dakota team, the 55th ranked recruit in her recruiting class. And the serve from Elena Wolf went off the back of Bodie's head. Not the first time we've seen a ball in play go off ahead this season.
Bodie also the Coyotes block leader and has had a couple really good positive touches on the Jackrabbit middle swings here.
Annalie Ventling-Brown got some deja vu watching that play unfold. Another block. There is Annalie Ventling-Brown right on cue. The senior steps up for South Dakota State defensively. Tremendous crowd at First Bank & Trust Arena tonight. Average attendance to the first 3 home matches, over 2,000. Lauren Medic off the side of the Madison Burr block attempt. Ends the 2-0 scoring run for South Dakota State. Coyotes hitting just over zeros. The Jackson team also only hitting 143. Each team has been solid defensively so far.
Another thing for both these teams, if you leave a hole even as small as you can think it can be, these outsides are going to challenge your block for both teams. That's going to be a really interesting stat to see at the end of this game.
Barrett Power, the graduate student out of Lincoln, Nebraska, goes long. Power, a transfer out of Colorado State, where she spent 4 seasons, a teammate with Jackrabbit right side, Alyssa Groves. Both players won a conference title with Colorado State back in 2021. Rachel Weaver, the Southern Utah transfer, on the serve. Van Hook, a set for Lauren Medic, and Medic through the Madison Burr block attempt once again. Van Hook's a good one for South Dakota, one of the best setters in the league. The sophomore out of Marion, Iowa, leads the Summit League, 24th in the country in assists per set, was an all-freshman team selection a season ago. Coyotes just trying to stay in striking distance. On a quick set for Gunts, and a Coyotes in the net. Madison Burr will take the service line. Burr's been quiet tonight, but has not been quiet this season. But there she serves it into the net. Another service error for South Dakota State. Each team has had several of them in this opening set.
You can kind of see that those missed serves here are coming from both teams trying to serve as aggressive as they can. They want to get both of these teams out of systems so they can't bring their hammers.
Almost another service error again for South Dakota State. Jacks played it, and Hahn catching the defense, napping.
When you least expect it.
Hahn showing her veteran presence right there. A transfer out of Jacksonville and New Hampshire. She spent 2 seasons at each program, and Leanne Williamson uses her first time out of the match. Or the set, I beg your pardon. 18-15 Jacks in this opening set. South Dakota State Saturday against St. Thomas didn't get off to such a great start. The Jacks fell in the opening set 25-16, 10 attack errors though. And Dan Georgialis said, hey, we knew we weren't doing things right on our net, and that was a good thing, is that we knew that it was fixable, and they did just that, winning the next 3 sets. Yeah,
and they were able to keep St. Thomas under 200 hitting percentage that whole time, and ended up hitting over a 300 hitting percentage. So, you know, sometimes you just gotta put that first set out of your mind and do what you know how to do the next 3 sets there.
She's Sydney Andrews. I'm Brent Bowen. Thanks for joining us tonight from First Bank & Trust Arena. Great crowd on hand to watch the Jackrabbits play the Coyotes. There is Leanne Williamson in South Dakota State looking to continue their winning streak against the Jackrabbits. 18 in a row. In a rivalry game like this, it's hard to believe that has been the case. But the Jacks are going to end that streak tonight. South Dakota State will host Denver at home on Saturday. 1 p.m. first serve from First Bank & Trust Arena before the Jackrabbit football team takes on South Dakota Saturday night at 6:30. Out of the timeout, Riley Martin the serve. Set middle for Lotion. Get up by Martin. A bump set to Sealock, who got a full swing off, and Sealock goes long again. Sealock 3 kills, 4 errors in this one. And the Jackrabbits pull ahead by 4, their largest lead of the set. Van Hook will set for Sealock once again. Alyssa Groves from the right side gets in there. Third team block for South Dakota State of this set. And a timeout taken once again by South Dakota. 3-0 Jackrabbit run, and the Jacks first to 20.
Watch that again. Beautiful press by Alyssa Groves there. That is what the Jackrabbits want to do. They want to shut down the Coyotes' star player. That is what is going to help them.
Sealock, a lot of swings early, 9 total attacks and 5 errors, and the Coyotes really having a similar start that the Jacks had in St. Paul. 9 attacking errors, 3 setting errors, or 3 service errors, I beg your pardon. That's not a recipe to success.
No, and the Jackrabbits came out fast. They came out strong, and they came out to play, and I think South Dakota, they knew that they came here knowing this was going to be a match. I think they are still kind of trying to find their ground and trying to get more comfortable here in this new arena. You know, they've never played here before, so it can take a couple points here.
Last 2 times these teams have met in this building, it went 5. Coyotes came away with a win both of those times. The attendance number for Jackrabbit volleyball prior to this season came in the South Dakota match 2 years ago. It was about an attendance of 1,400. Obviously that attendance number was doubled in the opener against Kansas City back on the 3rd of October, but just looking around tonight, the attendance record could be in danger. Great student body crowd. Suites looking pretty full. This beautiful new facility, First Bank and Trust Arena, has treated us to some excellent volleyball so far. Jackrabbits looking to continue that into today and the rest of the season. Van Hook a back set, back-to-back blocks. This time it's Sylvie Skunts. Skunts only averages about a block a match.
Beautiful block. One for Shetton, 1 for Groves, and another for Guns there.
It's really just how this team always is. Really balanced. Everybody's contributing. Shetton finds the floor at the top of the block. Jacks keep on rolling, 5 in a row. And the Coyotes now a negative hitting percentage. Martin goes long on the serve, tried to find that back line. For Martin, it's her 2nd service error of the night. Well, stop the bleeding for the moment. Ferris looking to go on a run. Martin a set middle for Shetton, just kind of throws it over. Opportunity here for South Dakota State. Skunts for the outside. What a swing, but sent back. Great dig by Avery Van Hook. Now Ferris a bump set to Sealock, takes him off. Weber calls everyone off. Skunts will try again. Van Hook another dig. Great effort from the sophomore setter for South Dakota. Skunts for a 3rd time. Ferris gets it up this time. What a rally here. And then the swing goes wide to the right. Jacks win the long rally. That'll get the fans to their feet. A great defense there by South Dakota. Van Hook twice, and then Ferris on the last hit.
That was such a fun rally. You could hear the crowd every time Skunts hit that ball. But yes, well, like you said, great defense by South Dakota. They need to keep that up if they want to come back here in this match.
Skunts' service error, now 5 of them in this first set for South Dakota State, 8 of them combined from these 2 teams.
You know, with these 2 teams, it's always going to be a tight set. It's always going to be a battle to the end. Those service errors are going to come into play.
Instead, shivering right back at Van Eglen, 2 Sioux Falls natives. Van Hook for Sealock goes around the antenna. And it'll be set point for South Dakota State. And this excellent crowd at First Bank and Trust Arena rises to its feet. Jacks looking to go up 1-0. Outside to Sealock, takes them off. Jacks keep it alive. Bumps it back to Groves, blocked. Sealock. Coyotes keep it alive for the moment. Now Elena Wolf, senior DS out of Jackson, Minnesota, a transfer from Wayne State where she played 2 seasons. Will take the line, looking to keep the Coyotes alive in this opening set. Going right at Guts. Burr from the middle, what a time for her first kill of the night. And the Jacks take set 1. Went back and forth early, but right around the middle of the set, the Jacks use a 5-0 run to pull away from South Dakota, taking command of this opening set.
Yeah, that was a really, really fun, fast-paced set. I felt like that set really took like 20 minutes. I feel like we just started. That was really fun, really fast-paced. A lot of amazing athletes here in this crowd. I just think Jacks kept the momentum pretty much that whole time from start to finish. They never let up. And, you know, even with those service errors, hitting errors, you know, they kept that level of discipline, and they were able to, you know, come out with the win, obviously.
Jacks 4 blocks as a team in the opening set. That's the story of the first set from First Bank and Trust Arena. Jacks 25-18 win in the opening set, going up 1-0 over South Dakota here on the Interstate Series. We'll be back in just a few moments for set number 2 here from First Bank and Trust Arena. You're watching South Dakota State Volleyball here on Midco Sports Plus. Start of the second set from First Bank and Trust Arena. South Dakota State handily taking set number 1, 25-18 over South Dakota. Looking to snap an 18-game losing streak to the Coyotes here in the Interstate Series. With Sydney Andrews, I'm Brent Bowen. 14 blocks for South Dakota State in the opening set. And Shetland, Skunts, Groves, Burr, really everybody showing up on the defensive end.
Yeah, and I think the Jackrabbits are doing what they do well. They're focusing on their side first, and I think that is what the Coyotes really need to focus on this set here in particular, is focusing on their side. They see that the Jacks have a huge block. They have great defense. What are they going to do differently? How are they going to challenge their defense? How are they going to find open spots on the court that they didn't have the first set? So it's definitely not going to be the same as the first set. Both teams are going to, you know, figure out ways to keep this set going. South Dakota more. They came all this way to win some sets, so it's going to be exciting to see what they do this set to kind of change that for them.
Jackrabbit student body has been tremendous energy-wise so far. There's a lot of them up in that Hefty Student Club tonight. Start of the second set. Riley Martin gets us going. Now it's looking to even things up. Jacks looking to go up 2-0. Free ball for the Jacks. Shetland over everybody, gets things started. Shetland just as she did in set one. The first point for South Dakota State off a little give and go action.
If it wasn't going to be with the block, it was going to be with the kill.
Martin going deep again. Sealock finds the back line. That's someone that Leanne Williamson wants to see get going. Sealock 3 kills, but 6 attack errors in that opening set. The Coyotes is the team that had 12 attack errors in the opening set, 3 service errors. So 15 of the Jackrabbits' 25 points came off Coyote errors. And as a result, a hitting percentage in the negatives. Great serve from Hawkinstead. Skunts down the line, but it's wide. This is Jody Weilinga, the line judge to our right. And Dan Georgalis is going to challenge either that a Coyote was in the net here or that it was in. Get a look here from down the line.
Challenge that in there.
It's close. The first review we had today stood.
That, to me, that's a pretty obvious call. Sometimes when you are a line judge, it can go by so fast that you really just have to make the call of what you saw, but that's really close.
Call on the floor was out of bounds in a swing wide. So we'll see if there's enough evidence to overturn the call. It appears maybe it nicks the white line, but pretty hard to tell. The down ref, Bill Stanley, is also in charge of the replays. So he's taking a look at it. Early here in set 2, the Coyotes as things stand a 2-1 lead. Pretty quick review here, and we'll get the call. And it's overturned. Point South Dakota State, so Dan Georgalis 2-0 on challenges today. Obviously one of them was taken by Leanne Williamson, but the Jacks winning the challenge still, having the point go their way. So the score will flip, now 2-1 Jacks. Slide to Bodie, and Skunt's unable to run it down. And South Dakota wins the serve back immediately.
That was a really good slide run by Bodie there, but she saw 2 huge blocks up. That block was closed, and she still found a way to that deep corner there. Very smart.
Seen the Coyotes in the past. Their last 2 middles in Palman and Harms run a lot of slides with their middle blockers, doing the same thing with Bodie here. Alyssa Groves going down the line off the touch from South Dakota. Wolf unable to run it down near the back corner. And we continue to alternate points here early. Clean all the way around there for USD. Going cross court is Lauren Medic.
Medic has all of the angles. She has that line, that deep corner, and that sharp cut. You'll see that a lot tonight. She has it all. Medic, one of her best games as a Coyote, hitting .333 with 18 kills on Saturday against North Dakota State. Now Burr from the middle, nice action there by South Dakota State. Madison Burr today with 2 kills on 2 swings. Madison Burr is always that player that steps up when it matters. You know, first set, she was kind of quiet. That last game point, set it to her, she got the kill. Here, trying to build momentum, send it to her, she's gonna put it away. We're going quiet for the moment as Cameron Hahn serves it away. Maddox this time just a tip, throwing off the timing of Ventline Brown and Burr. And Burr unable to keep it up.
Avery Van Hook last season only playing in one game against the Jacks set of the two. Was one of the best setters in the league as a freshman. Madison Burr, her first swing of the day that doesn't result in the kill. Goes wide to left, South Dakota their first lead of this set. Van Hook looking to keep things rolling for USD. Van Egden was hot early in the first set. Now a back set for Cheyenne Halady. And Bentley Brown didn't get a great piece of that. You could see it from her face, but was able to find the middle of that defense.
You love when a whiff turns into a kill. You know, you can't hang your head on that because obviously it was a kill. She's smiling out there.
Bentley Brown, the senior, out of Lincoln for South Dakota State, the lone senior on this roster for Dan Georgialis, who's been here all 4 years. Great set from Avery Van Hook, and Amanda Lotion finishes it off for South Dakota.
That was really smart. You know, setting that ball 10 feet off, trusting your middle to be up and be ready to slam that ball down. Very smart.
Coyotes showing a little bit of fight here early in the second set, which the Jacks pulled away late in the opening set. Versatile Laura Medic serves it away. Skunks going cross court, and Ferris watches it go wide. Skunks' second attack error of the night, back-to-back points for South Dakota. Lauren Medic at the service line, second on the team in digs, fourth in aces, second in kills as well. Set middle for Burr, and Ferris unable to get it up. Madison Burr, another kill. And South Dakota State winning the serve back. Guns trying to push it long. Sealock will just knock it over. Guns will try again. A little more power behind that swing. Another good set from Van Hook and Cheyenne Halady, the graduate student out of Mississauga, Ontario, who's now at her third school. Puts it down for the Coyotes, who lead this by 3. Halady spent her freshman season at Youngstown State, leading the Penguins in blocks per set, then went to UTSA for a couple of seasons, and now is at South Dakota. On a back set, Bentley Brown tried to find the back corner, and a Coyote was in the net. Much needed side out there for South Dakota State. Sealock tips it over, pancake for Riley Martin, but nobody able to run it down for SDSU.
South Dakota has really been using that tip right up and over the block, and it's been working. South Dakota State really needs to figure out who's going to take responsibility for that ball.
And the key for South Dakota in this second set, and something that I imagine Leanne Williamson had to have harped on in that huddle after the first set, no errors for South Dakota in the second set, and as a result, they're up 2.
Big time.
Skunks, no answer for that. That's what Sylvia Skunks can do when she's at her best. Her 5th kill of the match to lead South Dakota State in that column. Skunks averaging over 4 kills per set. Summit League Freshman of the Year, first team All-Leaguer last season. Will be in Player of the Year conversations this season. Coyotes continuing to do a great job of winning the serve back immediately.
Especially in the middle of the set here, limiting these runs, going back and forth. These teams want to be going back and forth because they want to limit those runs. If you get on a 2, 3, 4, 5-point run, that is when that momentum kind of wavers. So you really want to keep that ball going back and forth.
Van Egden an overpass on the serve receive, and as a result, Morgan Bodie, freshman out of Nebraska, slams it home. That's a great freshman for the South Dakota for the South Dakota team making contributions. Van Hook is set outside. Lauren Medic right in front of the diving Jocelyn Richardson. South Dakota, their largest lead of the match at 4. Timeout and George Alice. Leanne Williamson and the South Dakota bench pumped as the Coyotes continuing to play a clean set number 2.
Yeah, the Coyotes are doing a really good job of just creating their own momentum and creating their own excitement just within themselves on the floor and with their bench, because you know we're in Jackrabbit territory. There's a lot of Jacks making noise for the Jackrabbits. There's a couple of USD fans in the crowd, but you can really see these girls pumped up just within their little group of 6 out there on the court.
This is a South Dakota team that is familiar to playing good competition. They have a win over a Power 4 program this season. They beat Iowa State in 4 sets in Vermillion back in September. They also played Louisville this season. The Coyotes hosted Louisville last season. This season they played them on a neutral site, took a set from the Cardinals, who are a top 5 team in the country. So South Dakota, no stranger to playing good teams. They're getting another good one tonight in South Dakota State. They're still yet to lose a match. But this Coyote team that's going to be up to the challenge tonight, and they're showing it here in the second set after getting off to a slow set number 1. There's Dan Georgialis, the 5th-year head coach at South Dakota State, looking for win number 70 as the Jackrabbit head coach. A win tonight for South Dakota State would match their win total for any single season under Dan Georgialis. Jacks having a scramble. Shetland just tosses it over. Skunks, great hustle to keep it alive. Free ball, South Dakota, good opportunity here. Van Hook dump. Richardson right there. Great rally here so far. Van Egdom going through the block. Now Medic will try again. Going down the line, she goes long. And the Jacks side out, much needed one at that end of the timeout. That ends a 3-0 South Dakota run.
A lot of really scrappy plays here by both teams. Really smart placements of the ball, and everybody just hitting the floor, really wanting to get that ball up.
Jocelyn Richardson, there's a lot of dive on that serve. You see it right there. That's her 22nd ace serve of the season with just 6 errors for the sophomore out of Sioux Falls, Washington. Such a tough serve to receive. It's the second ace of the day for South Dakota State. Going right back at Hockenstead. 2 players very familiar with playing against each other back in their high school days. Hockenstead a great up. Skunks from the back row, inside the back line. Skunks showing why she's one of, if not the top outside hitters in the Summit League right there.
Absolutely beautiful swing. Just knowing where you are on the court, able to find that ball and not step over that 10-foot line and hit it that hard is really remarkable.
No chance for anyone to make a play there for South Dakota. There's Lauren Medic ending the 3-0 Jackrabbit run. The Jacks, a nice response out of the timeout, getting a couple of points back. Now we'll see if the Coyotes retaliate with a run of their own. Set middle to Burr, and Amanda Lotion sends it back from her counterpart. 3rd team block of the match for South Dakota. It's a Coyote program that they're no stranger to success. And another block. Amanda Lotion again, back-to-back blocks for the sophomore out of Omaha. And the Yotes back up 4. Momentum back on the side of the team wearing red uniforms tonight with black shorts. Now Van Egdom will try. And Van Egdom finding the floor there out of the outstretched arms of Hockenstead. As I was mentioning earlier, just so much success with the South Dakota program. The last 6 seasons, they've won either the regular season or the tournament championship. I mean, that's hard to believe. Last season, they were a part of a 4-way tie in the Summit League, but just continued success for this program. Medic, a nice cross-court shot there. And the Coyotes just continue to respond, and the Jacks go on a little bit of a run, get a side out. The Coyotes respond immediately. On a set middle to Burr, nobody home for the Coyotes, and Burr had one of the easiest kills she'll see all night.
And that's what I love about the Jacks is, you know, an error, but they still trust her. They still trust Burr to put that ball down. They want to build her confidence instead of not give her the ball anymore. They know she can do it.
Got to give a lot of credit to Cameron Hahn there, completely fooling the Coyote blockers. USD was thinking outside of Van Egdom all the way. Back set to Halady. And Skunks off the side of her hand there. Pushes it wide, an error there. The Coyotes looking to keep building off this lead. It's tied for their largest lead of the match. Lauren Medic leading the Coyotes with 7 kills, and it's come alive in this second set. Sends it away, the receive by Richardson. And Skunks going back corner off the arms of Medic, and Skunks off the air. The Jacks go right back to her. Showing more of their continued confidence in these players. Burr off the tape and down. An ace for Madison Burr, her 10th of the season.
These are the kind of points that the Jacks really need to you know, get back in the game and build their confidence up.
Back-to-back points for the yellow and blue. Going right back at Sealock on the serve. Back set Halady, don't know if that was touched, but we play on. Set middle Shetland, and she tips it over and down. 3 in a row for South Dakota State. And that'll force a Leanne Williamson timeout. That'll get the crowd to life at First Bank and Trust Arena. But once again, you see in this run to get the Jackrabbits back in the set, it's 3 different players contributing. First Skunks, then Burr, and now Shetland.
Yeah, an absolute battle between these two teams right now. They both have so many weapons, and they're using all that they have. And each of these players has so many tools in their toolbox. You know, this tips right over the block that both teams have been using, and both teams, it has been working. And you know, those deep corners, and then once in a while, that bang bang play that just builds that momentum up. I think blocking has been you know, here and there a little bit. But I think these hitters are just so smart to see the block that they have in front of them, and are able to really thank you.
It was the offense it was the defense in set number 1. Now it's the offenses in set number 2. Jacks hitting 296 as a team. The Coyotes 458. But again, it feels like the Coyotes really outplaying South Dakota State here in set number 2, but the Jacks only down 1, well within striking distance.
Yeah, and like I was saying, both of these offenses are just so strong, and you know, they're finally finding their footing, and they're finally showing us what they can do.
Attendance tonight at First Bank and Trust Arena, 2,224. Not the attendance number or the attendance record we had in the opener, but a great crowd here on this Tuesday night. Free ball from Bentley Brown. And 4 hits against South Dakota State.
I think they're trying to question if that first touch by Shetland was a block touch or if they counted that as an actual touch. But
we'll play on. There will be no challenges from George Alice. Guns taking some off this time, and there's where Medic and Ferris in the back row, you have to respect the swing from Sylvie's Guns. So then when she just tips it over, it's so tough to run that ball down.
I mean, especially when she's coming in so hard. She is fully jumping on that, and then just at the last second drops her elbow, and everybody is on their heels waiting for that bang-bang play.
Ferris, a bump set for Sealock. She's yet to get going in the second set. Maybe that's the start of things for the top outside hitter for South Dakota. Sealock, 8 kills. Medic with 7. For Leanne Williamson, this group leans heavily on their outside hitters. 32 total attacks already between the two. Medic just kind of sticks out the left arm to get it up, but the ball goes wide to the left. And we continue to alternate. Got one coming down to the wire here in set number 2. The Jacks handily winning set 1, 25-18. Now Sylvie's Guns on the line. Receive title on the net, and an error against South Dakota State. Shetland getting a little too aggressive there. And the Coyotes first to 20 in the second set. Shetland will try again, sent back by Morgan Bodie. 2 in a row for South Dakota to build a little breathing room. And it'll force the Dan George Ellis timeout. South Dakota State this season in second sets, they're 16-2. And Dan George dropping one here to South Dakota. The Jacks so far in this arena in 3 matches, just 1 set loss. And that was in a 3rd set to North Dakota in their last home match on Saturday, October 12th. But the Coyotes continuing the battle here on the road in the Summit League. South Dakota 5-2 in conference play. Winners of 3 in a row, so they're feeling good coming into today. 3 other games happening tonight in the Summit League. Omaha up 2-0 over Kansas City, 25-13, 25-7 are those scores. Omaha's only league loss is a sweep right here at South Dakota State. In-state battle between North Dakota State and North Dakota. Those 2 teams have split the opening sets. And then out in Denver, the Pioneers have taken the first 2 sets from Aurora Roberts. Jacks will welcome the Pioneers Saturday afternoon. 1 o'clock first serve from First Bank and Trust Arena. Jacks handled the Pioneers out in Denver earlier this season in late September in a 4-set win. Back underway, Jackson in need of a side out. And Shetland takes advantage of the overpass, and the Jacks get the side out they needed. Slide to Bodie. Van Egdom gets a touch. Groves going for the deep corner. Whiffing on it is Hawkinstead and Wolf. Wolf, I think, thought it was out. So did Hawkinstead. But it finds the back corner, and Alyssa Groves has a kill.
What a lucky shot. Just kind of an out-of-system set. Just plop that ball right in that back corner and make those Coyotes think about it.
Wolf on the receive. Now Medic. Off the block, great up by Martin. Groves will try again. Van Egdom off the tape. Hawkinstead keeps it alive. And now Medic through the middle of the floor and down inside the back line. And the Coyotes respond. Barrett Power, the Colorado State transfer, mostly used as a serving sub, as we see her used here. Set middle, Burr off the tape and down. Well, it looks like Dan Georgialis is going to use a sub here and get Sophie Johnson in. Sophie Johnson, a graduate student, spent time at Southwest Minnesota State in Dordt. In a big spot here. Van Hook set middle for Lotion. Johnson taking care of the tip. Now Van Egdom does the same. Medic through the block. Big point here. Outside Van Egdom, sent back for the moment. Van Egdom almost in the net. On the overpass, Van Egdom trying to put it down, cannot. Hawkenstad gets it up, now Medic from the outside. Martin will set middle for Burr. Joust at the net. Lotion out of position. And Medic finds the floor. Great rally there, and the Coyotes win it.
Rallies like that where it's just so much off speed, tips and rolls. It can be kind of confusing if you're going in circles and, you know, back to base and then up to grab that tip again and back to base and so on and so forth. Somebody just needs to step up and hit that ball. And it was a Coyote.
Lauren Medic putting it down for South Dakota. Van Hook inside the back line and an ace. And the Coyote fans that are in the building erupt. And the Coyotes have match point and set, or I beg your pardon, set points in set two. Not at that point quite yet. Here we go. Van Hook, lefty, sends it away. USD faithful making some noise here. Stunts from the back row. Didn't get a lot of power behind that one. Set middle for Lotion in the back line, and the Coyotes even it up. Heck of a response by South Dakota. After falling in set one, 25-18, the Coyotes rally and win set two.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that the momentum, kind of switched sides. It was all on the USD side there, and they were really making their own, you know, excitement and momentum on their own side, like I was saying earlier. And you could definitely tell with defense and offense there. I think a little bit too much off speed on the Jack side. They need to stay aggressive, because that is when they come out positive, is when they use their aggression to their benefits.
Coyotes, a great response. They take set two, 25-21, and the set on a 3-0 scoring run. We've got a good one for you here from First Bank and Trust Arena. Don't go anywhere. South Dakota State and South Dakota in the Interstate Series, and they split the first two sets. Set number 3 is about to get underway from First Bank and Trust Arena. What a match we have for you here between South Dakota State and South Dakota here in the Interstate Series. With Sydney Andrews, I'm Brent Bowe, and Jack's looking to snap an 18-game losing streak to South Dakota. Last year, twice when these two teams met, the Jacks winning the first 2 sets, the Coyotes coming back to win the last 3. But this year, we've got a more entertaining start. Teams split the first 2 sets, and really great volleyball being played on both sides.
Yeah, an absolute battle being played so far. You know, the Jacks really had the momentum in the first set, and then second set went to the Coyotes. You know, the Coyotes really found their rhythm on offense. They saw their blocks. They were able to find ways around them, and I think the Jacks saw these blocks, and they decided to go off speed. They really need to stay aggressive this set and really focus on their serve receive.
Cameron Ferris starts us off in the third set. Guns going down the line. Van Hook trying to get it up, but cannot. Great swing from Guns to get things going. As you mentioned there at the beginning of the second set, Sydney, like to see them swing it more and not go as much off speed, doing exactly that there on the first point.
You know, it works here and there, but every play they kind of start to figure out what you're doing, and then it's hard to get kills when you keep doing the same thing.
If Katie Van Egdom was 6'3" or 6'4", maybe a Jackrabbit and Riley Martin would have had a chance to set someone up, but Van Egdom only 6'2", just out of her reach, and South Dakota's on the board. Cora Hawkinstead, the freshman on the service line, is a great server. Was in high school and has been so far collegiately. And Hook a set middle for Bodie. Guns going for the back corner. Now Seelock having to take some off. Guns will try again, full swing there. Overpass, Shetland going back line, kept alive by South Dakota. Groves a little check and wait up. Now Guns trying to go down the line again, and Hawkinstead watches it go wide, point USD. And really late in the second set, and now so early in the third set, really the Coyotes have seemed to be the team that's winning all these long rallies, crucial for momentum.
Yeah, and you can see their defense has definitely picked up. They're not letting as many balls hit the floor. Besides that one there by Shetland, great swing there. But you can see it's a little more tough for the Jacks to put one away, and so that creates these really long rallies where they're both just picking up every single ball and can be tired. You can get really tired towards the end of those, and so it's who can stay aggressive the longest. Before
that swing, Sydney Shetland had a hitting percentage of below 200. You know you're having a good day defensively when you hold number 11 for South Dakota State. Anywhere over 300, let's be honest, but let alone 200. Shetland now at 235 after that kill.
Yeah, and that's like how I started off saying there's so much hype on these Jackrabbit middles, you know, because they've been showing us how good they are. And the Coyotes see that. They are very smart, and they know that that's who they really need to focus on, and they've been really doing a really good job of kind of holding them back a little bit.
Kylan Seelock has her first kill of this third set. Another back and forth start to a set from First Bank and Trust Arena. Wolf hits the back line. Coyotes continuing to be aggressive in the serve game, and Wolf has an ace. It's Wolf's 13th ace of this season. Van Egdom in serve receive. Shetland over everybody, and not much of a chance for Wolf to get it up. Madison Burr sends back the up attempt by Van Hook. Van Hook really didn't have much of a choice as the receive got her title on the net, and Burr taking advantage.
Great vision. She was able to see what that setter was about to do. She was one step ahead.
Completely reading the eyes of a sophomore setter for South Dakota. Back set on the slide attempt for Bodie. Guns gets a piece of it, sends it over. And the Jacks just a half second too late on reading the tip, and Medic has an easy kill. Great crowd on hand tonight at First Bank and Trust Arena, 2,224. Jackrabbits are going to get him involved here. Burr will try again. Wolf calls everyone off. Errant pass here from Van Egdom, but the Jacks able to keep it alive. Van Egdom 3-ball. Touch by Groves. The Medic will try again off the side of the Burr, blocking down. And the Coyotes take the lead.
Such fast offense by both of these teams. You know, blocking that can be so tough. So you're gonna see a few more holes in that block.
Set right side to Groves, and she goes long. Jacks thought it was touched. And Dan Georgialis is going to challenge. Jacks are confident that it was touched off the block. But again, it could be one of those instances where you hear it hit off the hand, but will you be able to tell in replay? One-on-one Groves on Medic. This might be a good look right here.
It's a little hard to tell, but when you're down a couple points, you want to try to do anything you can to bridge this gap here.
I have a tough time seeing this one getting overturned. It stands to be a 3-0 run for South Dakota. In this pivotal set 3, best of 5. Jacks looking to stay unbeaten. They're the lone unbeaten team in Division I after their best start since 1975 when they started 20-0. If the Jacks can win today and Saturday, they would reach 20 wins in a season for the first time since '07, which marks the year of their only NCAA tournament appearance and one conference title. Bill Stanley is our down ref and is taking a look at our replays. What's he got for us? It'll stand, point South Dakota. Unsuccessful challenge for Dan Georgialis.
Little momentum boost for South Dakota. How are the Jacks going to respond here?
Groves able to keep it alive, but couldn't find a teammate. Groves shanks it, and it's an ace for Bodie. 4 in a row for South Dakota here on the road.
It's been such a fast-paced game. I think the Jacks really just need to slow it down on their side and just play clean, easy volleyball.
Bump set from Wolf to Medic off the side of the block and down. And the Coyotes have opened up a 4-point lead, and it'll result in a Dan Georgialis timeout. Coyotes a quick start in set 3, and you can just see the energy from their bench. They look like they really want this one here on the road.
Yeah, you can tell, you know, really fast start from the Coyotes, and they are not letting up whatsoever. I think it's also Jacks really just needing to focus on their side. They are the ones that are making all of the errors right now.
So the Jacks got things started off on, or they started things off on the right foot. 25-18 win in the opening set, but it really felt like a set where South Dakota really let things get away from them, as 15 attack errors in the opening set for South Dakota, 12 attacking errors, 3 set errors. And now in set 2, the Coyotes really cleaned things up. Only had a handful of errors, and now in set 3, same thing. Just stayed clean, and as a result, they're on top.
Yeah, and you can even see from the hitting percentage, you know, the Coyotes have been under a 200 this whole time. They are now right at a 200. You know, South Dakota State has stayed consistent over the 200, but they really need to limit those errors if they want to stay there.
The Coyotes will take the serve coming into the timeout. A 5-0 scoring run for the visitors out of Vermilion. Jacks continuing to struggle and serve receive. Another opportunity for South Dakota to play aggressive. Rhodes gets a touch. Now Van Egdom full swing and down. Much needed side out for South Dakota State to end the run.
It's nice to see Van Egdom take a little bit of a risk there. You know, she saw 2 blockers, but she challenged them. I kind of want to see more of that from the Jacks.
Cameron Hahn inside the back line for an ace. Seen the Coyotes do that several times today. Now Cameron Hahn able to find that back line. Coyotes thought it was long. Maybe a little miscommunication there between Ferris and Wolf of a little bit of who's got that. Maddock off the side of the Burr block. Net a play, and the Jacks in that first set, 4 blocks to the team, just 1 in that second set. Really defensively, the Jacks haven't been as strong, but part of that, good offense for South Dakota.
Definitely, that is one of the components that is missing from this Jackrabbit team that we know so well is block after block after block. And South Dakota State is just such a smart team. They're so smart, and they find their holes.
Amanda Lotion with the rejection there for South Dakota. And the Yotes a 4-point set lead.
Lotion does a really good job of staying, waiting, and then diving at that last second and kind of taking that angle away from Burr there.
Jacks continuing to struggle on serve receive. They're forced to send it over another free ball. Van Hook a set middle for Lotion, and it's down. The Coyotes continuing to control the momentum game here on the road, up by 5. And really had the Jacks playing from their heels.
Kudos to Jocelyn Richardson from sprinting all the way back and even getting a touch on that ball. You know, she just didn't have her feet set all the way, unable to get that ball up high enough for her teammates to help her out there.
Just haven't seen the Jacks been able to get these hitters going consistently. There's a great dig, and now Medic gets one down in front of Jocelyn Richardson. And South Dakota State is going to use their second timeout of this third set.
It's that sharp cut shot that I don't think the Jacks have seen very much this season so far. It's the shot that not a lot of outsides can hit, and it is definitely a tool she needs to keep in that toolbox.
What a start for Lauren Medic. 14 kills on 27 total attacks, a .370 hitting percentage. The freshman out of Papillion, Nebraska, really rising to the occasion here. Really Medic maybe starting to find something here. 18 kills, hitting over 300 Saturday against North Dakota State. Is on pace for a really big game here tonight. And boy, the Coyotes really using it. A 4-0 run. They take a 13-7 lead in this third set. Really in a good position to go up 2-1 here on the road.
Yeah, and you can just see, you know, the stat line there. They have more kills. They have a few more errors, but you do see their hitting percentages now above the Jackrabbits, which we have not seen so far. That's just showing us that the Jackrabbit offense really needs to find a way to step it up here.
It's a great crowd at First Bank and Trust Arena, but they really haven't had a chance to get too engaged over these last couple of sets, especially here in the third. But the Jacks looking to avoid falling for the first time this season. But the Coyotes giving everything that they can handle so far. Good receive there, a back set for Ventlin Brown. Great defense again by South Dakota. Medic and Lotion. And the block there looked like a solo stuff from Medic. 14 kills, 8 digs, now 2 blocks for Lauren Medic. Boy, how good has she been. Van Hook still on the line. Jacks need a side out. Quick set, and it's sent back again. Jackrabbits getting a little taste of their own medicine here in this third set.
Yeah, this is something you have not seen at all this season. Is Lotion really kind of shutting Burr up here, which is a key component to this Jackrabbit offense.
Van Egdom ends the 6-0 scoring run with the kill. It's her 4th kill of the match, and really the most in rhythm it feels like we've seen the Jacks all set.
Yeah, and when you have a player like Burr that hasn't been able to, you know, put one down here for a while, what is she going to do to help out her teammates in another way that's not just offensively? You know, just being a good teammate and doing more on defense. Anything can help. Just because she's not getting she's getting a couple balls blocked doesn't mean she's having a bad game.
Set was a little low for Sylvie's Guns, and as a result, she swung it right into the Coyote block by Cheyenne Halady and Amanda Lotion. And the Coyotes an immediate side out. Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year in 2022, Lauren Medic. At the service line, she's been outstanding tonight. Great dig by Van Hook. Touch by SDSU. Sealock will try again, and it's sent back by Madison Burr, maybe the spark that the Jackrabbits need in this third set.
And there's Burr, you know, keying in on defense because she, you know, you're going to block me, well, I'm going to block you right back. I love that mentality, and she has got it.
Now Burr will step to the line, but the Jacks, this deficit in set 3, still plenty of time to make a rally. But at this point, be key to build some momentum as you head towards the 4th set, at the very minimum. Bump set for Sealock, who goes off the top with a Ventland Brown block. Now to play, and the Coyotes back up 8. Serve off the tape from Ferris. Shetland just throws it down, but Ferris coming out of nowhere to get it up. These Coyotes have been diving all over the floor tonight. Good touch by Shetland. Now Weber a back set for his Guns. Guns will try again, takes him off this time. Great pancake by Van Hook. Boy, her defense has been phenomenal tonight. Opportunity for the Jacks. Guns, tip it again. Van Hook again. Unbelievable play by the sophomore setter. Now Hahn with a pancake. Weber a free ball. We're still playing. Halady full swing ahead, and it's off the block and down. Jacks thought a ball was down, and that Van Hook didn't get one of the pancakes off. Doesn't appear that the Jacks are going to use a challenge.
Incredible defense by South Dakota. They are giving it all right now. They're being so scrappy.
Guns off the top of the block. Coyote in the net anyways. It'll be a point for the Jackrabbits. Van Hook tonight only has 4 digs. How? I don't know, but it seems like all 4 of her digs have just been tremendous plays defensively. Jacks looking for a run. Sealock tips it up. Shetland just knocks it over. Jacks looking to get her going. Sealock into the back corner and down. These outside hitters for South Dakota are on fire. Medic and Sealock both have been tremendous here in the third set. The Coyotes as a team hitting just above 250 in this third set. But the defense has been phenomenal. Here's a free ball. Slide to Bodie, and it's blocked by Sylvie's Guns.
Great block. That is a point that these Jackrabbits needed. You know, it's those big points that build the momentum. That's what you want. That is what keeps this Jackrabbit team going here.
That's a good serve. Seelock having to reach all the way back to get it over. And Groves gets it blocked. Morgan Bodie, the middle blocker, didn't see it right away, but it was Seelock who got the touch. And the Coyotes first to 20, a dominant lead in set 3. Guns for the back row. Foot was near that 10-foot line. Guns will get a kill. Coyotes just a bit late to the spot that time defensively. Morgan Bodie on the slide, trying to go down the near line. And it's wide and long.
Really great job from Richardson there on in base, transitioning back, having that outside foot on that line. So there was no question whether that ball was in or out.
On the overpass, on the receive, Madison Burr slams it down. 3 in a row for the Jackrabbits, their longest run of this set. Again, Williamson still a timeout. See if maybe she could call one there to just slow things down. We'll keep playing for now. Jackrabbits within 6. Still a lot of work to be done. Back set to Bodie. Jack's just getting more touches at the net. Yuntz for the back row. We'll now set one for Van Egdom. Diving save by Wolf. And Ferris on an attempted free, put it into the net. Jack's starting to build some momentum. 4 in a row, forces away and Williamson timeout. It's the loudest we've heard this First Bank and Trust Arena crowd in this third set. But South Dakota State, after being down 20-11, they were down 8 several times, down 9 several times. They're down 5 now in set 3. Still plenty of time, Sydney, for the Jacks to build a comeback in this third set, but if you don't come all the way back, at least you're building some momentum and making yourself feel a lot better for a set 4.
Yeah, definitely. It's just brick by brick, 1 point at a time. You got to go out there and think about what you're going to do in this 1 point that is going to lead me to the next point. And don't think about the outcome. Don't think about, 3-4 points from now, what's going to happen when they get to set point. No, you got to think about the point that you're on right now, what your job is and what you're going to do to make sure that point falls on your side.
I think the stat of the night so far has been the team block count. 10 for South Dakota, 8 for South Dakota State. Doesn't happen very often that an opponent has more blocks than the Jacks. The Jacks third in the country in blocks per set as a team at 3.08. Number 1 team in that category is Idaho State, a team that the Jacks defeated at the Pentagon back in September. Jocelyn Richardson still on the line, looking to keep things rolling. Richardson going deep on that serve. There's a bump set for Medic. Great swing from the freshman, but great dig by Richardson. A little touch from Bodie. Now Medic will try again, and it's long. Point Jackrabbits was awfully close to being a touch from Alyssa Groves. 5 in a row from the Jacks, and the crowd starting to create some noise at First Bank and Trust Arena.
It's hard not to think there's a touch when Alyssa Groves is reaching 10-7, 10-6.
Groves, the 6'4" transfer out of Colorado State, has been a tremendous addition this season. Set middle for Bodie, sent back by Katie Van Egdom. 6 in a row for the Jacks. We have a game here in set 3.
It's so fun to see the Jacks not losing confidence at all. They were down, and they took it upon themselves to, change that on their own side here.
Van Hook is set outside. Medic trying to end the run, and she does. Martin just a tad late to the spot. Great run from Richardson on the service line to get the Jacks within striking distance. Important serve here for Bodie. Keeps it in play. Set middle to Burr. What a swing from the freshman. There's no chance there for Lotion against Madison Burr, the 6'1 freshman, who continues to do excellent things this season for Dan Georgalis. Title on the net. Van Hook keeps it alive. Dig by Schlimgen. Hahn was trying to call out Van Egdom. And it's a free ball. And it's an outside set to Medic. Blocked by Madison Burr. Back-to-back tremendous plays by the freshman. And the Jacks are within 2.
You got to have so much respect for Madison Burr there, you know, coming off couple blocks, just not hitting as well as she wanted to, coming back, getting block after block after block. Now kill, and she is on fire right now. No shutting down for her.
Great dump from Van Hook, but Schlimgen, great hustle to keep it alive. Van Hook a set middle for Lotion off the top of the block. Medic trying to go back at it. Now another set middle for Lotion. Great dig by Schlimgen. Bumps it outside to Van Egdom. Off the block, and a Coyotes in the net. Jacks are within 1. The crowd has come to life in Brookings, and it forces Leanne Williamson's second timeout. Boy, this is the loudest we've heard the crowd all year.
Wow. Kudos to Aaliyah Schlimgen, using the net to her advantage, you know, coming in hot and just putting that ball right into the net, able for her team to get up and just battling. Everybody has so much confidence. You can just see the tides change. You know, the momentum is back on the Jacks side. This game is not over.
South Dakota State has scored 9 out of the last 10 points in this game. And who did it start with? It started with Madison Burr, the middle blocker for SDSU, who has been great in the defensive end all night. That swing has struggled to come around so far, but a couple of important kills in this third set has gotten the Jacks back within it. And it forced Leanne Williamson to call her second and final timeout of this third set. And you're in a position now where the Yotes still up by 1. But if the Jacks find a way to come away with a set 3 win, how demoralizing would that be for South Dakota on the road?
You know, this set's gonna depend who comes out stronger this next set. It's gonna be a battle.
Cameron Hahn, a graduate student at Overland Park, Kansas, passed 2,000 collegiate assists in the First Bank & Trust Arena opener against Kansas City on the 3rd of October. She'll serve it away. Another great up by Schlimgen. Almost hit the scoreboard. Van Egdom just shoves it over. Lotion on the tip, kept alive by Burr. Bumps it to Medic, who tips. Lotion with the response. Great poise by South Dakota coming out of the timeout. And the Jacks had all the momentum. Amanda Larson with a key side out for USD. Title on the net, keeping it alive is Hahn for the moment, but Burr unable to knock it over. Back-to-back points for South Dakota coming out of the timeout. Richardson a set for Van Egdom. Through the block. Lotion again goes wide. Jacks a side out, back within 2.
This Jackrabbit defense, you know, digging up all of these swings, and even on cover where when Madison Burr tried to swing, and you know, we had another chance.
Van Hook title on the net. Big swing from Lotion, the sophomore middle blocker. She has been huge for the Coyotes late in this third set. Lotion hit it over 300, Sydney.
Yeah, she is on fire, and you can see she is hyping her team up. She is ready to go. She wants that ball.
Set point, Coyotes. Skunts inside the corner, and the Jacks stay alive. You see the value that Sylvie Skunts' swing has to this team. That's
the
her
height. She got up so high. Absolutely incredible.
We're looking to keep the Jacks alive. Almost went long. Ferris played it. Lotion again. Hahn right there. Weaver will set for Ventline Brown. Ventline Brown staying aggressive in the late stages. Seelock trying to put it away. Can't there. She will try again. Ventline Brown sends it back. The bump set went long, and the Jacks are within one.
A lot of intensity in this gym right now from the crowd and from these Jackrabbits, especially Annalie Ventling Brown. Look at that. Beautiful block there.
This arguably the point of the set. And Burr goes long, and the Coyotes win set 3. Incredible resilience by South Dakota. The Jacks down as much as 9 in set 3, climbed to within 1 on multiple occasions, but the Coyotes coming out of a timeout when it was 21-20. Amanda Lotion was huge for USD late in that third set.
Yeah, and when you're the setter on USD, I'm giving her that ball. She is yelling for it. You can hear it all the way from here. She wants that ball. She is so confident right now, and it is working. You know, she is hitting over 300 with only 1 error. You know, what can't she do right now? She's finding that floor. I think the defense from the Jackrabbits need to see that she loves that cross-body cut shot. You know, if you want to challenge her, try to take that away. See if she can hit that other shot and try to just make her switch up her swings there and see if, you know, you can find any leeway from there. But, you know, she's just a great player playing a really good game. And, you know, if you focus on her, there'll be other players that'll have a heyday as well. So it's hard. You know, both these teams, they have so many players that can get the job done. So it's really about just, you know, coming first full circle and just playing your game and focusing on your side.
South Dakota's 1 set away from being the first team to defeat South Dakota State here in the 2024 campaign. Got a good finish coming up for you here from First Bank and Trust Arena. Don't go anywhere. You're watching South Dakota State Volleyball on the Summit Lake Network, powered by Midco Sports Plus. Set 4 about to get underway from First Bank and Trust Arena. Jacks taking set number 1, 25-18, but the Coyotes have responded nicely. They've taken sets 2 and 3 by scores of 25-21 and 25-23 respectively. Alongside Sydney Andrews, I'm Brent Bowen. Great start for the Jacks. It was the first set full of South Dakota errors, but the Coyotes bounced back. Played much cleaner volleyball over the past couple of sets. Holding on for dear life to win set 3, but the Yotes in perfect position to spoil the Jackrabbits' unbeaten season.
Yeah, I mean, starting out how we started with USD at a 0 hitting percentage and all of their attackers, they've really battled back to show everybody in here why they are here and why they're playing so well. And both teams now back to hitting under 100 or under 200, excuse me. So this is just a big defensive game. You see a lot more blocks from the Jacks that last set, but also from USD. Everybody is just on a blocking spree here. Offense has picked up, and it's been a really great battle to watch.
Rachel Weber gets us started in the fourth set rather. And Kylan Selak goes long on the first set, but a touch. It's 12th kill of the day for Selak. Her swing's been solid, but 10 attack errors as their hitting percentage near 0. South Dakota starting this fourth set off on the right foot. Well, Hawkinstead to serve. Receive from Weaver goes long. Now Selak down the line. Back-to-back kills for the senior outside hitter for South Dakota to start this fourth set. Jacks have Weber and Johnson right now, as well as Richardson, so 3 DSs on the floor. Trying to get off a good pass. Scud's trying to get the Jacks on the board, and she does.
Yeah, you see a little difference. Riley Martin in the front row for the Jacks instead of having, 6'4", 6'5", Ventling Brown or Alyssa Groves. So we'll try a little bit of a different approach there for the Jacks, trying to have those middles maybe go behind. It'll be interesting to see what they choose to do.
Selak again gets it sent back, this time by Martin and Shetman. She'll go for it again, this time through the block of Riley Martin. And Selak is responsible for all 3 South Dakota points in this fourth set. It's just the second time all year the Jacks have trailed after a third set. The only other time was back in the conference opening against Oral Roberts, where the Jacks came back for a reverse sweep. Martin dump. Van Hook doing the same thing, and she puts it down. What awareness by Avery Van Hook, the Coyote setter, who's put together a whale of a ball game. Van Hook today, 33 assists. It's the 17th time this season that she has had 30 or more assists. Great defense on both ends there, the Jackrabbits. Nice hustle on the return, blocked by Sylvie's Guns. What a sequence of events there for the yellow and blue.
Wow, single block after a tough battle to get that ball back over. That's just endless effort there by the Jacks.
Martin going deep right at Hawkinstead on the slide to Bodie. Guns down the line, great up by Hawkinstead. Across the floor, now Groves looking to do the same thing. Bump set Ferris to Medic. Almost hitting the scoreboard. Medic cross floor again. These South Dakota outside hitters continuing to carry the load.
It's that sharp cut again. Once again, we haven't seen anybody except for her swing that ball, and it's working every time.
Morgan Bodie goes deep on the serve. It's out. Boy, Lauren Medic, if she sticks around in the Summit League, she's going to be some heck of a player. Top recruit at a high school. 22nd recruit in the country, according to Prep Volleyball. Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year in 2022. Top recruit in the state of Nebraska, which will make its case to be the state of volleyball. Another slight touch for South Dakota State at the net. It's another kill for Lauren Medic. Set for Shetman. Jacks really want to get Shetman going. More great hustle by South Dakota to keep it alive. Medic had to get it up and far enough so Shetman can get it. And then Riley Martin on the dump.
Riley Martin on the dump, but also Sydney Shetton able to go into her approach like she was going to get set the ball. So those middles were waiting for Shetton, and they had no idea Riley Martin was coming.
Martin and Hahn each with one setter dump today. Overpass on the serve receive. Jacks unable to take advantage. And hook title on the net. Amanda Lotion picking up right where she left off. Had a tremendous end to set 3. Has a kill there to make it a 3-point Coyote lead in set 4. The back set going for the back line, and Alyssa Groves, that's a name that the Jacks want to get going. Had a negative hitting percentage before that swing. That now her 4th kill of the match out of the outstretched arms of Medic. Hahn will check in for South Dakota State. Coyotes off to a good start once again here in set 4 as they were in set number 3. Coyotes looking to spring a road upset against the number 1 team in the league. Nearly an ace there. Seelock still able to get off a good swing. Ball playing pinball a little bit between the net and Avery Van Hook's arms, and Seelock still able to get off a tremendous swing.
That was really just a beautiful set, you know, being patient, waiting for that ball to come out of the net, able to give Seelock a beautiful set there.
And an ace. Big swing of momentum over the last couple of points for South Dakota. Hahn nearly at an ace. Instead, it turns into a Coyote point. And then a Coyote ace makes it a 9-5 USD lead in set 4. And it forces Dan Georgalis to take his first time out of the set. So here we are. Jacks a 25-18 set 1 win. They drop the next 2 sets. Now you're down 9-5 in set 4. Your backs are against the wall. What can you do to build some momentum and force the set 5?
You just have to play clean, you know, make the other team make the errors. Keep staying aggressive. You know, the Coyotes are going to get their kills, their blocks, but you have to want it just as bad. You know, the Jackrabbits have never been in this situation, so this is new for them. This is new territory. They need to figure out quick, because they do not want this run to go on any longer. They do not want this match to end how last match did, you know, fighting up until that last second and just unable to snatch that last set. But they have to start now if they want to go. They have to start now.
Coyotes have come out with a different energy since the end of the first set. Really, so far, a similar match as to what we saw in St. Paul between the Jackrabbits and the Tommies on Saturday, where the Jacks lose the first set, commit a ton of errors, but then bounce back, play really strong volleyball on the road throughout the next 3 sets and win. We'll see if we have a similar finish as to Saturday's match between the Jackrabbits and the Tommies. Ferris looking to keep things going for the Coyotes. Back set to Ventline Brown, through the block and down for a kill. Ventline Brown's played well tonight, 3 kills, 3 blocks. Weber, the senior out of Northfield, Minnesota. Spent 3 years at Southern Utah. Only played, though, in 1 season. Bump set to Halady, and the Jackrabbit defense getting in on the action.
That was a really, really good way to be patient by those jackrabbit blocks. You see a couple times the jackrabbit block is just a little early, and it's able to, the Coyotes are able to find those hands and kind of find them coming on the way down, and they just really need to slow it down and really, their timing is everything.
Unforced error there for South Dakota State as it's the 7th service error of the match for the Jacks. Total errors 32 for South Dakota, 24 for South Dakota State. On a set outside is Guntz. Trying to go cross floor, but the Coyotes watch it go wide. Guntz has swung it about what she normally does. Came into today hitting 258 on average this season, hitting in the 240s. 13 kills to lead the Jacks. Does not work that time for Hahn. She'll back set for Ventline Brown, one-on-one at the net with Seelock. Goes a little bit inside. Now Seelock, a tight angle. Almost went around the antenna. Guntz will tip down the line, and it'll work. Almost just feels like a breath of fresh air for South Dakota State when they're finally able to find the floor. That's how good this South Dakota defense has been in the back row. They've just seemed to chase down everything back there.
Yeah, they've been able to dig the hard balls. They've been able to dig up those nice, easy tips over the block. That deep corner is something we haven't seen yet from South Dakota, so they were not able to get that one up.
Good action all the way around by South Dakota, but Weber able to get it. Guntz off the side of the block, and Hawkinstad unable to return. Back-to-back points for the Jackrabbits. The swings and the kills have been there for Sylvie's Guntz, but it's those middles, Shetland and Burr. Talked about it before the game, but clearly the Coyotes shifting more attention towards those middle blockers, and it's really working. Shetland really has been quiet today. We don't see, she's not quiet too often. Another service error, though, for South Dakota State. It's their 8th service error of the match. If they can't find a way to win set 4 and force a set 5, that might be something that Dan Georgalis looks back on. That's already 3 service errors in this 4th set. There is Sydney Shetland. Just a touch there, and Medic taking some off. Guntz will try again. And it'll be a dig kill for Cameron Ferris. Everything going right early in this 4th set for South Dakota. Ferris and Libero, just our 4th kill of the season. On a set middle, Shetland. Wolf, right spot, right time. Medic sent back. They'll try again. And Shetland misplaying that ball in the air from Guntz. Coyotes back up by 5, and Dan Georgalis is going to use his 2nd time out of the 4th set. South Dakota starting to feel it on the visiting bench. The Jackrabbits 18-0 on the season. The Coyotes 18 wins in a row against the Jackrabbits. Something's got to give, and we'll see how it ends here in the final moments. But the Coyotes in control of things in the 4th set thanks to a 3-0 scoring run.
Yeah, this has been a battle, you know, this whole match. Both teams just doing great things. It does, like we said, come down to those errors, come down to those service errors, hitting errors, just the stuff that you can control. You know, South Dakota State has had a lot of really good swings, but they've also kind of had a little more out of system and, you know, roll shots, off speed shots. Whereas South Dakota, they come in hard every time. They're finding the open floor. You know, if they have a block up, they're hitting that sharp cross where they don't see a block, or over roll, you know, just mixing it up every single time. Whereas I think the Jackrabbits have just been getting caught on their heels a little bit. And they really just need to focus on their side. Like I've always been saying, they're such a great team. They have so many valuable players, versatile players. They need to figure something out here.
Jackson, another hole. Coyotes looking to keep building. Final set for Ventling Brown, and Ventling Brown with the side out. Ventling Brown swung the ball well tonight, 4 kills and 7 swings.
And when you have a player like Ventling Brown, she has a really good stat line, but she hasn't had a lot of opportunities up until this set, really. And so these Coyotes aren't really focused on her too much, leaving an open block for her, and she's finding the floor.
Coyotes have been great in the serve receive tonight. Groves will try for the right side, her best swing of the night. Back-to-back points for the Jacks. Groves now 2 kills in this 4th set. Jacks looking to push it to a set 5. Coyotes looking to win it right here. Martin over the tape. Great dig by Schlimgen. Free ball for South Dakota. Medic through the block. Guns down the line. Hockenstead able to get a piece. Free ball for South Dakota. Martin will set middle for Shetland, who tips. Great diving dig by Cameron Ferris on the swing from Van Hook, and it's blocked. Sydney Shetland getting in on the defensive end. When the swing's not working, do it other ways. The
defense from South Dakota State has just been on fire. You know, they started a little rough here, having South Dakota find the floor a couple times, and they have just picked it up.
Attacking Wolf and serve receive once again. Tight up along the net. Skunts going deep corner, finding the right spot.
And that is just smart volleyball IQ, you know, seeing a little chaos on the other side, being nice and easy, seeing that farthest spot, knowing that they're not going to get there. Very, very smart.
3-0 run for South Dakota State. Results in a timeout for Leanne Williams, center first of this 4th set. Great response, Sydney, by South Dakota State coming out of the timeout with their backs completely against the walls, down 2-1 in this 4th set, down 14-9, and this team just continues to find ways, and they get this crowd to life at First Bank and Trust Arena.
Yeah, they love to keep us on our toes. I mean, everybody is just going, whoa, up and down, standing and really celebrating, trying to get these Jacks back on the roll. And I think that home court advantage is helping here a little bit, trying to come back from this deficit.
Attendance of 2,224 people on hand tonight. The 2nd best crowd in the history of South Dakota State volleyball. Biggest crowd was just a few weeks ago when the Jacks defeated Kansas City in the First Bank and Trust Arena opener. All night, each team has been great coming out of the timeout. We'll see if the Coyotes can continue that trend here. As USD looking for any answers. Riley Martin still on the service line for South Dakota State. Jacks looking to continue playing clean volleyball as they have as of late. Bodie on the slide. Schlimgen bumps it to Guns. Hockenstead right there playing the line. And Guns plays that swing from Medic. Some Jacks thought it was long, but it's a kill for Medic. And the Coyotes a side out of the timeout.
I think Guns herself thought it was long. Her body was just in the way.
Shetland over the top of everybody, but a dig from Elena Wolf. Van Hook thought a violation should have been called against Shetland. Instead, it's a point for South Dakota State, back within 1. Van Hook today, 38 assists. Primary setter for the South Dakota team. Cameron Ferris is 2nd on the team in assists, as the libero. So there's really no use of a secondary setter for South Dakota. Lauren Medic again, her 20th kill of the day. That ties a career high. Boy, the true freshman has been phenomenal tonight. Whenever the Yotes have needed an answer, it's been Lauren Medic or it's been Kylan Seelock. There's Shetland able to get on the kill board. But Shetland today just hitting 200. That's her 8th kill at the match. USD really has stopped Shetland exactly how they wanted to today.
Which is crazy. You know, she still has 8 kills, but USD has been able to stop her a lot today so far.
And it's an efficiency that's much lower than normal. Good hustle by Richardson. Van Egdom will give it a crack, going cross court. Great diving dig by Ferris. That's a set for Van Egdom in stride, and Van Egdom with the kill at the touch, and we're tied.
I think the Jackrabbit crowd is happy that they came back this early instead of waiting till the last 5 points here.
Richardson the serve. Jacks are going to take the lead. Set middle, Lotion. Coyotes again showing great response. No timeouts left for South Dakota State, 1 for South Dakota. You know, South Dakota, they've been great today on both sides of the serving game. Only 4 errors, 5 aces. And then also they've been great in receive as well. Van Egdom down the line, finding the soft spot of that defense. We're tied once again. It's the 17th tie of the match. On and an ace. 5th ace of the match for South Dakota State. The Jacks have the lead for the first time in this set. Just talked about how the Coyotes receive has been so good all night. Not there. Hahn will go to the same spot. Outside for a Seelock. Sent back by Ventling Brown. Now Halady will give it a try, and she goes wide. 3 in a row for the Jacks, and it'll force a timeout for Leanne Williamson.
What a crowd. You know, and that last couple serves there, you got to give some credit to Cameron Hahn. She is so good at putting that ball right in between the 2 defenders, that seam ball. So they have to think about it, they have to talk about it. Somebody really has to take initiative. Who's going to take that ball? And a lot of teams kind of talk about that before. You know, I got your seam, I got your seam. But she's been getting them here a couple times, really having to think about it and getting a couple aces with that strategy.
Crowd starting to come to life at First Bank and Trust Arena as the Jacks continue to rally. Coyotes up by as many as 4 points in this 4th set. And the Jackrabbits, just like they did in set number 3, battling back towards the middle, late stages of the set. First team to 20 has won every set so far. And the Jacks are 1 point away from hitting that 20-point mark. Looking to force the do-or-die 5th set. Stan Georgialis looking for another signature win in this 2024 season. Leanne Williamson looking to be the first team to defeat South Dakota State in 2024. Set middle to Lotion. Great response once again for South Dakota. And Amanda Lotion has been the person for South Dakota who has always come up with these big-time kills to quiet down the crowd.
Yeah, she has had a game so far. You know, alongside her outsides there, they are doing a lot for this Coyote team.
Coyote in the net. Ventling Brown continuing to do good things for South Dakota State. Going back to Amanda Lotion here for a second. Lotion, it must just be something about playing the Jackrabbits. I don't know if it's the white and blue uniforms or if it's playing here in First Bank and Trust Arena, but Lotion hit .350 and .429 against the Jacks last season. Now this season, she's hitting .385. Played tremendous against the Jacks. South Dakota State off the net violation, 1st to 20. And great hustle, but right there to clean it all up is Morgan Bodie, the freshman middle blocker out of Papillion, Nebraska. Bodie, the team leader in blocks. Lotion has been the best middle for South Dakota so far tonight. But Bodie getting in on the action there, back to a 1-point set. Sealock goes long, but it was touched by Bentley Brown. And we're even. Back-to-back points for the Coyotes.
Just a fingernail. Can be so close, but it can be so loud.
Stunts a tight angle through the block, kept alive by Bodie. Long set out to Sealock. Now Bentley Brown will try again, but she swings it into the net. And South Dakota 3 in a row to take the lead. No timeouts either side. They're starting to tense up here in Brookings. Short serve, Hawkinstead. There's Burr from the right side. Jack switching it up here. Gets a touch. And hook swings. Hahn ready. Stunts again. Great diving dig by Ferris. Bump set title on the net, and it's knocked out by Madison Burr. 4 in a row for South Dakota. And it's been Hawkinstead at the serving line for most of this, for this entire rally, rather. She served great tonight as 8 digs, the native of Sioux Falls, Gresham, Sioux Falls, Jefferson. And an ace. Hawkinstead's 9th ace of the season. And the Jacks will have their backs up against the wall.
You know, once it hits 2020, those nerves start to creep in. You really just have to stay confident. Do what you know how to do.
On a back set, Burr. Hook trying to find the soft spot. Great diving dig by Lauren Medic. Skunts will try again. That's in. Skunts a big swing to end the run. And Leanne Williamson's going to use a challenge. I think she sees it as it's such a close call that let's use a challenge. If we can win it, then we're in a perfect position to go out there and win this game. And if we lose it, it's oh well. Let's get a look here.
Yeah, and sometimes even if it's looks really close, you know, even if she knows it's in, when both teams don't have any more timeouts or when they're getting really close to this set, they just want to kind of slow the game down and kind of give the girls a little breather there.
Skunts, as things stand right now, 17 kills. A lot on the line here tonight in Vermillion. Or in Brookings, rather. Teams will meet in Vermillion in November to end the regular season, especially if the Coyotes can come away with a win tonight. There will be a lot on the line in that one. But South Dakota, you know, they lose a couple of games at home in puzzling fashion to St. Thomas and Omaha. But then they come back, they win 3 consecutive games. They beat North Dakota, Kansas City, and North Dakota State. And now they are just points away from picking up the most impressive win of the season by far by any Summit League team.
I mean, it's not an easy road to the top. There are some really, really competitive, great teams in this Summit League. You know, it's so fun to see these teams battle it out. You know, it's gonna be a heck of a season coming towards the end in a few weeks here. I guess a couple months. But who knows who's going to be at the top? You know, it's a hard-fought battle till the end.
South Dakota awfully familiar with the top. 6 either regular season or tournament championships in a row. It stands, point South Dakota State. Still a worthy challenge for Leanne Williams and try and steal a point there. Coyotes still in control. 23-21 here on set 4. Burr serving in the late stages again. Set to Seelock, blocked by Ventling Brown. The biggest defensive stand of the game comes from Annalie Ventling Brown.
She is having quite a game, And it's all about timing. You know, that block, perfect timing to give these Jacks more momentum here.
Seelock takes them off. Skunts couldn't find a teammate, and it'll be set point, match point for South Dakota. Looks like there might be a little wet spot on the floor that we might have to clean up here. Looks like right now we'll play on. Elena Wolf to the service line. Match point for South Dakota. Coyote fans in attendance stand on their feet. On a set to Skunts, takes them off. And Hook, a set to Medic. And Brown will try, that is in. Jacks stay alive. And we stand in the exact same spot that we stood in set number 3. 24-23 Coyotes, Jackrabbits on the service line.
Ventling Brown, again, when it mattered. Great swing there.
Martin keeps it in. Medic hit the antenna. And we'll go extra. The crowd rises to its feet at First Bank and Trust Arena. And Hook, a slide to Bodie. Schlemgen giving chase. Guntz a free ball. Hook a set for Medic. Sent back by Groves. Van Hook pushes towards the back corner. Now is Guntz down. Set point, Jackrabbits. 4 in a row for the yellow and blue. Martin back at the line. Back set. Great up by Schlemgen. Skunts will try again. We're going to 5 in Brookings. Sylvie Skunts saves the day for the yellow and blue. 5-0 run to end it. What a match.
Absolutely incredible. Everybody in this place was at the edge of their seat. I was speechless. Absolutely beautiful. You know, the Jacks stayed confident. That is what I've been preaching and wanting to see from them this whole time, just staying aggressive, staying confident, and they did exactly that. And the comeback is absolutely incredible. You know, you got to give it to USD. Staying confident themselves. Their back row defenders are having a day, you know, just digging every ball. And kudos to the Jackrabbits for finding the floor in such a hard back row to do so.
Arguably the 2 best teams in the Summit League going at it, and guess what? We're not done yet. More volleyball from First Bank and Trust Arena. The Jacks win a nail-biter on set 4. We're going to set 5, 1st to 15, and we'll be back in just a couple moments here watching South Dakota State volleyball on the Summit League Network, powered by Midco Sports Plus. Set 5 here in Brookings. What a match we've seen so far tonight, and we're going to get treated to some more of it here in this first of 15 deciding match. With Sydney Andrews, I'm Brent Bowen. Back and forth we go from First Bank and Trust Arena. Jacks take the first set. Coyotes take the next two. Jacks respond and take set 4. Last season, both matches went 5. Now 4 out of the last 5 matches have gone 5, and just these South Dakota State games, Sydney, continue to impress.
It's just incredible. These two teams are playing so well. This is such fun volleyball. You know, these girls out here are loving this because playing against an amazing team is always just so fun. You got to give your respect to the opposite side and just play to the end. It is a battle.
Cameron Ferris, the South Dakota libero, 18 digs. Gets us going at set 5. Here's Guntz trying to pick up where she left off. Back set off the antenna. Up the swing from Cheyenne Halady. Last season, when these teams met at First Bank and Trust Arena, the Coyotes were the ones that forced set 5. They defeated South Dakota State 15-4, really carrying that momentum. Jack's looking to do the same thing tonight. And hook out wide to Seelock, and Seelock goes long. Jack's a good start to this 5th set. And Dan Georgalis is pumped on the sideline to her right.
I mean, first two points for the Jacks are South Dakota errors here, so they really have to start focusing on their side, both of these teams. Try to keep it as clean as possible.
There's a bump set to Seelock, sent back by Sydney Shetland. There she is. An early timeout for Leanne Williamson, trying to calm the troops down as South Dakota State has jumped out to a 3-0 lead in set 5.
I mean, coming from that last 4th set loss, these Coyotes, it's got to be really tough to get back on that confidence level that they had at the end of the 3rd. And they just have to keep playing clean. You know, South Dakota State has the momentum right now with the help of the First Bank and Trust Arena. These 2,000 fans, they are still here. They have stayed, what are we on? Hour 3 of this long match. It is a battle, and it is so fun to watch.
If you left this match after set 3, boy, you're missing out. Jackson early lead, looking to snap an 18-game losing streak against South Dakota.
It's cool to see also, you know, there's a history between these two teams, but if you look at these current teams here, there are so many new players. So it's really, there's no, you know, South Dakota State having lost to USD for the past 18 times. These girls have never, most of these girls have never played USD, so they don't really feel that. They're coming out here, okay, next opponent, you know, it's just like everybody else. There's not really that lingering confidence killer, really. So that's another reason why I think these Jacks are playing so well, is they're so confident.
Kylan Seelock gets South Dakota on the board in this 5th set. A lot of turnover on the Jackrabbit for the Jackrabbits. Decent amount of turnover for South Dakota too, especially at that middle blocker position. But several of the Coyotes' top hitters are newcomers, including Lauren Medic and Morgan Bodie. That's great awareness to keep that alive. Now Ventline Brown will try for the other side. Great swing, but the Coyotes solid defensively. Guntz will try again. Medic gets it up, but out of bounds. Sylvie Skuntz has been phenomenal today. 20 kills for the sophomore out of Hartford, Wisconsin. 20-plus kills for Skuntz for the 3rd time this season.
Very smart. She only had one blocker up, as you can see here. Shetland able to keep that South Dakota block on her, opening up that outside for Guntz to only have one block, and she used that to her advantage.
Guntz also 11 digs. It is her 11th double-double of the season. Riley Martin is at the service line, 22 assists for the sophomore setter out of Eaton, Colorado. 14th time this season she has had 20 or more assists. Martin goes long, a much-needed side out for South Dakota. But the Coyotes today, 36 attack errors, 19 for South Dakota State. the Coyotes don't find a way to win this one, they're going to look back at that and circle that as a big reason why they weren't able to come up with a win today. There's still plenty of time. Just down 2 here in the 5th set, but Wolf has a service ace or a service error right back. 5th service error of the day for South Dakota. They haven't had many of those today.
This is exactly what the Jackrabbits wanted. You know, 1st to 5 in this set of 15. It is going to go fast. It is going to come at you as soon as that serve comes. So you really need to start out fast, and that's exactly what the Jacks are doing.
You know what they say, 1st to 5, 1st to 10, 1st to 15. Joust won by South Dakota. Free ball opportunity for SDSU. Shetman, great dig by Hockenstad, who's been excellent tonight. Rose on the touch. Medic will try again. Dig by Schlimgen. And hook set middle, blocked by Shetman. Shetman, a mean look in her face as she picks up another block, her 8th of the match. It's the 9th time this year that Shetman has had 5 or more blocks, and her swing might not be on par tonight, but her defense, as always, is there. Slide Bodie likely would have gone long, but Martin played it in the much-needed side out for USD. Coyotes fighting for their lives here on the road after they were oh so close to taking set number 4. The Coyotes up 23-20, and the Jacks come back and win at 26-24. Now SDSU a 3-point set 5 lead. Guns from the back row. No chance for Elena Wolf. Guns continues to be the MVP of the night for South Dakota State. 21 kills, 11 digs, 4 blocks for the Summit League Freshman of the Year from a season ago. Richardson serves at Ferris, and an ace! Richardson serves it right at her counterpart for her 2nd ace serve of the night. And we'll switch sides here at First Bank and Trust Arena. The Coyotes trying to dig deep on the road to hand the Jackrabbits their first defeat of the season. But SDSU, a 5-point set lead, and now Dan Georgalis pumping his team up in the huddle. Now the teams will head towards the huddle. But South Dakota State 8, South Dakota 3. Sydney Jacks couldn't have drawn up a better start in this 5th and pivotal set.
Yeah, you know, they really need to take this and run with it. After this timeout, they really need to stay strong and not let up. Don't get comfortable. Do not get too comfortable, because the Coyotes are the team that will come and kind of bite you if you let up just a little bit. So these Jacks really need to stay consistent, stay clean in these last couple points here.
Sylvie Skunts has led the way for South Dakota State with 21 kills. She had back-to-back kills to end set number 4 for South Dakota. Lauren Medic with 20 kills to lead USD. That's tied a career high. Kylan Seelock has added 19. Both outside hitters have been tremendous for USD today. But will it be enough is the question, as the Coyotes trail by 5 in this 5th set. Teams break the huddle. Great crowd on hand tonight. You heard it late in the 4th set. They were loud and really helped fuel this Jackrabbit comeback. And hook is set outside. Medic goes wide. Try to go cross court. Richardson alertly watches it go out.
It's worked for Medic 2, 3, 4 times already thus far this game. Tried it again, just a little too long.
If you look at both outsides for South Dakota, 50 total swings for both. Skunts has 52 herself, but no other hitter has more than 28 for South Dakota State. Martin to Van Egdom. Takes some off. Oh, set middle to Lotion, who's been quiet lately. Van Egdom will try again. Lotion will try again. Richardson able to get a piece, but couldn't get enough air under it for Skunts to run it down. It's a point for South Dakota, kill by Amanda Losha, who has continued to put together a heck of a match. That ends a Jackrabbit 3-0 run. Back set, Groves off the side of the block and down. The southpaw coming alive in set 5. Cameron Hahn had a long run at the service line last set. Looking to put together another one of those. Hahn going deep, had a lot of dive to it late. A lady tips and miscommunication between several Jackrabbits there, Schlingen, Hahn, and Gunts in the area. Now Richardson will sub back in to serve receive, part of that 2 libero rotation that Dan Georgialis runs. Lauren Medic on the serve. Tremendous all the way around, and it ends with an Annalee Ventling Brown kill, her 7th of the match. 1 away from a season high. What a day for Ventling Brown. Her last 2 games, she has had a negative hitting percentage. Now today, 7 kills and a hitting percentage of almost 400.
Yeah, she has been that leader to step up today. You know, when they need a big point, when they need momentum, she is the one that is there to bring those Jackrabbits back up and back to earth here.
Gunts into the net. She's human. Haven't seen too many of those lately. There's Gunts on the side out for USD. Ferris going deep towards Weber. Weber leads the Jackrabbits in digs today. Gunts taking a little off there. And Hook is set for Sealock. Weber playing a bit of setter as her own. Ventling Brown again off the block. Sophie Johnson is a serving sub. Annalee Ventling Brown's excellent day continues. She's tied a season high in kills. Van Hook a back set. A lady trying to get going. Shetland wins the joust. Now a back set. A lady will try again. And then Brown there on the backside. Now it's Gunts. Shetland in the middle. Almost able to find the corner. Dan Georgialis is going to immediately challenge. You can see Riley Martin to the left of us popping over from the bench saying that was in. Was it long, though, is the question. We're going to see. It was long. Still likely worth the challenge for Dan Georgialis with as close as it was. I don't know, actually.
It's got to be 100% out. Even if that ball is 1% in, that ball is in.
Boy, the slow-mo replay always does wonders, doesn't it? There we go. So Shetland in the corner. It's called out on the floor. Can't really tell from that angle. This is a pivotal call in this game. The 13-6 Jackrabbits if this goes the way of SDSU. But as close as it is, though, still definitely worth a challenge for Dan Georgialis and staff. Jacks looking to pick up win number 19 of the season and move to 19-0. We'll get the ruling from our down ref, Bill Stanley. Pivotal call, what do you got? It'll stand. Point South Dakota.
I don't think the crowd really liked that call, but
Cora Hawkinstead and to serve for South Dakota. She served well tonight. Hawkinstead 10 digs. It's the 4th time this season and 4th time in the last 5 games that she has had 10 or more digs. Also as an ace. On for Gunts, and Gunts didn't get a great piece of that one. Coyotes within 4, Dan Georgialis is going to call a timeout. So now all of a sudden, after the Jacks up by as much as 6, the Coyotes back-to-back points to build a little momentum.
Yeah, you saw, the Coyotes started out with a couple offensive errors, and now it's kind of switching. The Jacks have had a couple offensive errors, stuff that you don't see very often. Gunts hitting the ball in the net twice. She doesn't even, she doesn't even really know how that happened. She comes down kind of smiling, but it's little things like that. She's trying to go for it. Sometimes if the set's not there, you really just got to find a way to keep that ball in play.
It was never going to be easy for South Dakota State. Coyotes battling back here in this 5th set, led by 11th-year head coach Leanne Williamson, 3-time Summit League Coach of the Year back in 2016, 2019, and 2022. Horizon League Player of the Year at the University of Milwaukee. All-time leader in wins at the University of South Dakota. Looking to will her team back from a big hole in set 5. Dan Georgialis using 1 of 2 timeouts as South Dakota looking to continue the push forward. Jackrabbits haven't defeated the Coyotes in 9 years. And are oh so close from changing that right here. And these teams are going to meet again on the last day of the regular season. Hawkinstead again serving right back at Richardson. From set 2's Gunts. Played well by USD. Seelock takes them off. Chance here for SDSU. Bentley Brown again. Cross court. Dig by Hawkinstead. Another touch first by the setters. Gunts off the block and down. Gunts and Bentley Brown. It's been all them on set 5. Jacks 2 points away. Gunts again. Match point Jackrabbits. 22 for Gunts. Martin to serve. Outside Seelock, sent back. Coyotes keep it alive. Free ball. Martin for Shetnin. Gunts again. Long touch. That's it. It's over. 18 is enough. For the first time since 2015, South Dakota State has defeated South Dakota. South Dakota State shows tremendous resilience from start to finish. And the Jacks, with their backs up against the walls in set 4, force a set 5. And dominant games by Sylvie Gunts and Annalie Ventling Brown keeps the Jackrabbits' undefeated season alive as South Dakota State defeats South Dakota for the first time in 9 years.
Wow. Not only did we beat the Coyotes. Sorry, I'm speechless. I have not been able to see this in so long. It is so nice to see these girls finally get this hard win that, as a former Jackrabbit, you've longed for so long. South Dakota is an amazing team. They always have been. Not only beating USD, but keeping this streak alive is absolutely incredible. Kudos to this Jackrabbit team. They deserve this, all of their hard work. Kudos to Coach Dan. has built this program from the ground up. This coaching staff, these girls, they have what it takes. And they just showed you right there. So absolutely incredible performance here today.
It was never meant to be easy for South Dakota State. So many times the Jacks had opportunities where they could have folded. And instead, South Dakota State finds a way to pick up a win in set 4, 26-24. Sylvie Skunts, 24 kills, 12 digs. Wow, she was unbelievable today as the Jackrabbits defeat the Coyotes in 5 sets tonight at First Bank and Trust Arena. What a match as South Dakota State improves to 19-0 on the season. Jacks will take on Denver Saturday afternoon at 1. We'll hear from Dan Georgalis and Annalee Ventland-Brown here in just a moment as South Dakota State defeats South Dakota in 5 sets. Jacks 8-0 in the league. Coyotes fall to 5-3. South Dakota State came into today top of the league. Coyotes in 3rd place as Dan Georgalis embracing a moment with his kid, Henry. And now the 5th-year head coach of the South Dakota State Jackrabbits joins us. Dan Georgalis with Brent Bowen and Sydney Andrews. Dan, I mean, I don't even know how to start this. What a match tonight.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I know why I'm losing my voice is because the environment here in First Bank and Trust Arena has been absolutely fantastic through our first home games. That's an incredible team. This is an incredible rivalry, and it's just an incredible comeback. So, yeah, obviously just a great night for volleyball.
Sylvie Skunts, how good was she tonight?
Fantastic. She's got to do a lot. You know, I think she puts too much on her shoulders sometimes, but you know, she's our 6th rotation player, and she's got a huge role, so she's got a lot to focus on. And I think the player for me that really stood out when we needed a new boost was Annalee Ventland-Brown. I mean, we finally got some scoring out of the right side. She got a big block there in the 4th or the 5th, and she was our spark plug that kind of allowed us to come back.
That was my next question. Annalee Ventland-Brown, whenever you guys had a moment where you needed a spark, Annalee Ventland-Brown, whether it was on the offensive or defensive side of the net, she was always up to the task, showing that veteran leadership.
She was fantastic. I'm so excited for her. Only 4-year senior. She's been here and helped us build this thing, and for her to have that match in this type of environment and situation, I'm just so happy and happy to support her because she's going to leave here at SDSU with a win against USD, and I think that's fantastic.
Talk about the resilience of your team a little bit. You're down 23-20 in the 4th set. You find a way to win that 4th set. You have all the momentum headed into the 5th set. There's many times in this game where you guys could have quit and folded, but you just didn't.
Our mantra this year is being Gila monsters and never giving up, taking a bite of something and never letting go. And we hit a wall there. And this team never stopped believing. I just want to give them so much credit. That's just an unbelievable comeback and perseverance, a resilient group. They never stopped believing.
I just want to say absolutely congratulations. I love that you finally got this stat. You deserve this so much. This team has been absolutely amazing. You guys just need to go celebrate.
Thank you guys.
One last thing I got for you. How about that crowd tonight?
Unbelievable. I don't know what the attendance was, but I mean, compared to maybe what we did, it says 0 there.
2,224 was the attendance tonight.
Wrong sheet.
It's awesome. You know, this place is special. Obviously, we're undefeated on the season, but it means something to be undefeated at home. And First Bank and Trust Arena is so intimate. Our fans are right there. The students, the swim dive team was absolutely awesome. Huge kudos to them. And you know, we come back because of our fans and this environment and being at home and building off that momentum. So they get to celebrate this victory with us.
Coach, go celebrate that win. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you on Saturday. That's Dan Georgalis, the head coach of the South Dakota State volleyball program. The Jacks, a 5-set win over the University of South Dakota tonight at First Bank and Trust Arena, the program's first win over the Coyotes since October 13th of 2015. Brent Bowen with Annalee Ventland-Brown, senior out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Annalee, we'll start this off by saying, what a game tonight. Just a back and forth chess match between both teams, and just you guys found a way to win in the end.
I'm just speechless. We all kind of, throughout the whole match, we're just like, let's be in this moment, live in this moment, you know. This is something that we've worked so long and so hard for. I'm just really proud of the team, everything that we've worked for. You can see it on and off the court. This is the best team I've ever been a part of here at SDSU. And you can just see the connections we have to each other and just the friendships and the family we've created to help us do things like this and win.
Take me through this. You're down 23-20 in the fourth set. Backs are against the walls. What was the message in the huddle to say, we've got this, we're going to dig deep, and we're going to come back and find a way to win this set?